What is going on, you beautiful people? Today we're going to be comparing the iPhone SE to the iPhone XS, and we're going to do more than just, honestly, I was going to do a lot more heavier tests, like compare the camera quality and all this stuff, but I really don't think that stuff matters anymore. Cameras are so good, and I kind of want to take the main points off of that. Of course, it got an upgrade here, but starting off with just the bodies, I mean, you can easily tell the iPhone XS is way bigger. We have a 5.8-inch Super AMOLED screen on the iPhone XS, and only a 4-inch IPS panel on the iPhone SE, and 100% fact, the iPhone XS panel is so much better. And actually going one step further, if we want to actually zoom into the panel, I'll show you right now. Just drop my phone. You can definitely see, and it's a little harder to see actually, but the iPhone XS panel looks a lot sharper, the colors look a lot darker, and it just looks like on the iPhone SE, it doesn't look as good. I'm not saying the iPhone SE panel is horrible, but I mean, the panel is pretty much the same thing as the iPhone 5S, and that's like a 5-year-old panel, so I would definitely say 100% fact, the iPhone XS panel is better than the iPhone SE. And I guess I'll go ahead and talk about the camera for a second. We have a 12 megapixel camera on the iPhone SE and two 12 megapixel cameras on the iPhone XS, and it's pretty much the same setup as the iPhone X's camera. The main difference here is that the iPhone SE only has one camera that supports optical image stabilization, but technically speaking, the main upgrade with this camera is not only the Smart HDR, portrait mode, all those things, but we also have optical image stabilization on the second lens as well. So you have two cameras, but they both can support optical image stabilization. So if you zoom into a video a lot, it'll be able to take a very unshaky video of that, hopefully. I'm sure it's still shaky, but that is really cool, and at least they upgraded it there. But like I said, I want to focus more on other things other than just the camera every single time a phone is released. Just like the battery life, I'm very unhappy with the way Apple went ahead and decreased the battery from the iPhone X to the XS, and I believe overall the battery life is worse on the iPhone XS than on the iPhone X, but it's still going to be better than the iPhone SE. So if you have an iPhone SE, don't be scared to go and upgrade because the battery life is worse or anything like that, because it's not. The battery life is better than the iPhone SE, even though it's more powerful, has a bigger screen and all that stuff. But on top of that, you also have wireless charging, which is super nice. A lot of phones already supported wireless charging, but Apple went ahead and implemented it on the iPhone XS as well. And it was here last year too, but for some reason, I don't use wireless charging all that often. That's just me, but it could be different for you. So you do have that option on this phone. Now, in terms of the futurability of these phones, the iPhone XS is going to last you longer by about 2 years. This phone started off getting iOS 9, and I believe it's going to stop at iOS 13 at the same time the iPhone 6s stops. But this phone is going to just started, so it's going to go 4 or 5 years after this. So expect that. So this phone is going to last you longer than the iPhone SE. And going a little bit further on the specs, the iPhone SE has the Apple A9 chip, has a dual-core processor clocked at 1.84 GHz and 2 GB of RAM, where the iPhone XS has the Apple A12 Bionic chip, a hexa-core processor, and 4 GB of RAM. And I think 2 GB of RAM is still sufficient for, an iOS device, but 4 GB of RAM, I mean, it's going to be way faster. And speaking about faster, let's run the speed comparison. Alright guys, welcome back to another speed comparison. This setup is usually really bougie because sometimes I look at the screen and it looks good, and then I pull it up on my computer and it doesn't look good, but we're just going to try my best. I have pretty much the same exact apps on both these phones. We're going to go ahead and open up some simple apps like the camera, the settings, the phone and stuff, and then we're going to go to more daily usage apps like Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. I usually just go ahead and clear everything out and we are good. So let's go ahead and just open the camera. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that looked pretty even. Usually I go from when the orange box is in the center. It looked like it was pretty even there though. Let's go ahead and do calendar. 3, 2, 1. I don't know, honestly. Let's do that again. I actually want to know. 3, 2, 1. I think it's a little bit faster on the iPhone XS. Let's do mail. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that looked faster on the iPhone SE. Wow. Let's do clock. 3, 2, 1. That looked pretty even. Maybe the iPhone XS. Let's do maps. 3, 2, 1. The iPhone XS was faster, but I was expecting more fast, but I didn't think that one app would open faster on the iPhone SE. Let's do weather. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, a little bit slower on the iPhone SE. Let's do notes. 3, 2, 1. That was weird because that was still loading on the iPhone XS and it wasn't, or it was already downloading on the iPhone SE. So that's very weird. Let's do reminders. 3, 2, 1. Faster on the iPhone XS. Let's do news. 3, 2, 1. Definitely faster on the iPhone XS, but it's not that slow at all on the iPhone SE either. Let's do the iTunes Store. 3, 2, 1. Yep, faster on the iPhone XS by a lot. Let's do the App Store. 3, 2, 1. And, that's pretty much even, I would say. Let's go ahead and do the phone book. 3, 2, 1. almost the same thing. Let's do messages, 3, 2, 1. Pretty much the same thing. Let's do music, 3, 2, 1. Definitely faster on the iPhone XS. And this still has the prompt, but still faster on the iPhone XS no matter what. And that is pretty much it for this main page. Now let's go to the second page and let's look at some of these apps. So Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, let's just go and open it. Instagram, 3, 2, 1. Faster on the iPhone XS for sure. Let's do Snapchat, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, that was pretty much the same. I noticed that with all these devices, Snapchat opens up the same on all of them. Let's do YouTube, 3, 2, 1. Technically it was faster on the iPhone SE there. Very strange. Let's do Facebook, 3, 2, 1. It's like opens up way faster on the iPhone XS. Let's do Twitter, 3, 2, 1. Almost the same exact thing. Maybe the XS a little bit. Let's go ahead and boot it up a notch. Let's go ahead and do Temple Run. That's a pretty extreme app. I'm just kidding. But it's sometimes you can get some interesting information from loading up Temple Run. So let's go ahead and do it. 3, 2, 1. And as you can see, it's like flying through right now. Whereas on the iPhone SE, it's still, now it gets into the loading thing. And I just find it so crazy. And it does actually glitch up a little bit there. I didn't even think Temple Run was this like important of a game, but I've been playing it for years and it's still like such a worthwhile and like interesting game. So yeah, way faster on the iPhone XS. Let's go ahead and do Real Racing 3. Actually, let's do Nova Legacy, 3, 2, 1. And I think it should be, as you can see, this is just gonna fly through it and it's still loading on there. So yeah, this is gonna be not even fair, but I think the 2 GB of RAM really help out the iPhone XS, the 2 GB of RAM additional that it has. So it has 4 here and 2 here. And I don't know if it's exactly to do with the Apple A12 Bionic chip, but I'm sure it has something to do with that too. But I would say overall, I'm pretty impressed by the iPhone XS performance. And for older phones, it keeps getting stuck there. But for newer phones, it just slides through. So I'm just going to quit out of it because it's super annoying. That's the 10th time that's happened. Let's do Real Racing 3. 3, 2, 1. And I think I'm on 2 different aspects of this game. So I'm just going to keep clicking here until it goes through. Okay, so that's already ready. And then once this is ready, it should load through a little bit more. Okay, so now this one's ready now. So still much faster on the iPhone XS, not a million times faster, but it's a noticeable improvement, I will say. God, this guy's got me stuttering out here. All right, let's just load up the benchmark score and see where we're at. So as you can see, we have 345,564 on the iPhone XS, and we have only 129,702 on the iPhone SE. Now I'll tell you guys like this right now. The iPhone SE is still a pretty decently fast phone. I don't think there's any reason for you, if your usage is very basic or if you want a very small phone, for you to overlook this, because it's still like you saw in some cases, the iPhone SE is faster, but might just be luck in my opinion. I don't think it's always going to be faster. But you also have to remember that the iPhone SE you can probably get for like less than $100 at this point used. Whereas on the iPhone XS, it's like way more expensive. You're looking easily over $1,000. So what I will say is like, if you really want an iPhone XS, go for it. You know, you're getting better battery life, better cameras, better everything. But I also think that the performance upgrade from an iPhone SE to the iPhone X is still a lot too. I mean, you're gaining so much. And I don't think like you're going to be missing out on much either if you think about it. I think personally, if you go ahead and get an iPhone SE, or if you have an iPhone SE right now, I think you might as well just keep it for a couple more months and just upgrade to an iPhone XS, buy it used so you can save a couple $100. But if you want a phone right now and you're just like, I need to upgrade, I need something new, I would probably recommend you to go get an iPhone X. That's my current daily driver. I have an iPhone X right here, and that's what I use every day, and I don't plan on upgrading to the iPhone XS actually. I either plan on keeping this phone as a side phone or just returning it, honestly, just because it's just not that much of an improvement from the iPhone XS or from the iPhone X that's already existing. So that's where I'm going to leave it at. You are gaining a lot more performance, you're gaining a lot more stuff, but I just don't think you're gaining much more from the iPhone X. So what I will say is like, yes, the upgrade from the iPhone SE is a huge upgrade for sure. You're getting more speed as you guys saw, but the upgrade from the iPhone SE to the iPhone X is also a humongous upgrade as well. So you can't necessarily go wrong with either choice. But what I will say is the choice is yours. You can get an iPhone SE for very cheap now. I just don't think it's necessarily worth it to just go get an iPhone XS right now. But guys, the choice is yours. I'm just here the messenger, you know. I don't want to force you to do whatever, but that's just my opinion. If you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button, but definitely hit that subscribe button, dude. Every single subscriber we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys could hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, All that stuff is down there. I would really appreciate if you guys could go and check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.